Hey, it's Dan Moralez, America's Mortgage Man. I wanted to shoot a quick video and I wanted to talk about interest rate and closing cost. I had a conversation with a client this week that has an accepted offer on a property, and in the course of our conversation, I like to ask a lot of questions because it's important for me to understand kind of what your big picture is and how to properly structure your mortgage where it makes the most sense for you. What happens a lot of times is clients will only ask what is your interest rate, but they don't ask about what are your closing costs that go with that interest rate. So often people are strictly looking at just interest rate, but they don't look at those costs. And I'm telling you, if you don't look at the cost, you can actually end up overpaying for your mortgage. Now here's the story. Wonderful client who's kind of transitioning and doing something different in life here. We're having a great conversation and we're talking about the fact that she is anticipating possibly moving and doing something different with this house within the course of the next maybe 2 to 3 years. So what matters in that case, we really want to look at closing cost as it relates to interest rate, okay? I've said this before. Interest rate and closing costs go hand in hand, right? Higher interest rate, lower closing cost, lower interest rate, higher closing cost. Well, what does that matter? So often we look just strictly for the lowest interest rate possible. Well, if we paid a ton of closing costs to get that lower interest rate, what we've done is we've potentially shot ourselves in the foot. So what I'm going to share with you on the screen here is a quick kind of range of numbers that I've put together for this client. So what you're going to see is on that left-hand side there, you see that we started with a 20-year conventional mortgage at 4%, and then it ranges all the way up to 4.625. But what we did is we wanted to look at what her estimated cash due at closing, let's say, was at 4%. So at that 4% number, her cash due at closing was $45,252. That included down payment, closing costs, and the whole 9 yards. Her monthly payment was $1,242.89. And if I look at that 4.625 number, her cash due at closing was $42,683, and her monthly payment was $1,297. So the difference in the amount of cash due at closing was $2,569, and the difference in monthly payment was $54.57. So her break-even point, when you look at those two numbers, if you will, there was 47 months, just over 47 months. That's almost 4 years that she would have to have that loan at the lower interest rate before the math made more sense to take that option. Well, if the client's anticipating doing something different within the next 2 to 3 years, taking that lower interest rate actually would have cost her more money than if she took the higher interest rate. So there are times where all of these questions we ask are for a reason. I really want to make sure that I'm putting you in the best overall position when it's all said and done. Because if I'm showing you just the lowest interest rate with the highest amount of closing cost, in all honesty, I could have positioned you for really the worst deal, right? Not the best deal, but the worst deal. And I always want to make sure that I'm working in my client's best interest. If you want somebody who's going to work in your best interest, is going to give you options and really make sure that you have the absolute best loan structure for you, not necessarily the bank, but the best loan structure for you, I'm your guy. Hey, I'm Dan Moralez. I go by Dan, America's Mortgage Man. You can find me online at danmoralez.com. That's DANMORALEZ.com. My phone number is 616-931-4629. My NMLS number is 709-729. Yet, of course, Northpointe Bank is an equal housing lender.